Hello, everyone. I'm Sandra Bargman, host of the Edge of Everyday podcast, streaming on all your favorite podcast platforms and right here at MaximizeU.life. The Edge of Everyday is an exploration of the edges we all face and grapple with in these challenging times, both personally and professionally. Through conversations and shared stories with friends and colleagues, it's my hope that we can begin to understand our edges. And what I mean by edges is those places where we are fearful, those places where we are resistant to change, those places where we must embrace growth and transformation. Real conversations with real people that spark provocative invitations to leap out of what's safe and to explore ways to push our boundaries. I brought my podcast to Maximize You in October of 2023 and was absolutely thrilled to become a proud member of Team Maximize You. At Maximize You, we are dedicated to helping individuals and organizations reach their full potential and achieve lasting success. Our founders and our coaches bring decades of experience in education, leadership, and personal development to guide our clients on their journey of growth and transformation. That's why the Edge of Everyday podcast is such a perfect fit with Maximize You. This company is rising quickly and has just added yet another feather in its cap. It has been named the best AI-powered personal growth platform in the US in 2025 by Evergreen Awards. This prestigious award recognized the company's commitment to innovation, accessibility, and transformative impact in the field of personal and professional development. I felt it was high time to do a series of interviews and conversations in which we got to know the extraordinary members of Team Maximize You. And today, we speak with one of the visionary founders and CEO of Maximize You, Laura Celly. Laura Celly has over 20 years of experience across sales, education, and training. She served 6 years in the U.S. Navy as a preventative medicine and environmental health specialist. After an honorable discharge, Laura developed LGC Safety Training, a food safety and compliance organization. After converting it to an online platform, Laura worked in tech sales and marketing, following which she became a Texas certified special education teacher. Laura holds a bachelor's in mass communication from Texas State University. As the driving force behind Maximize You, Laura has combined her extensive industry knowledge with cutting-edge technology to create a revolutionary personal and organizational growth platform. Her vision has resulted in an AI-powered technology platform that customizes growth plans and enables individuals to lead happier, more balanced, fulfilled lives. Laura resides in Austin, Texas, with her husband, Sal Celly, co-founder of Maximize You, and she is the proud mother of Samira and Cyrus. Welcome, Laura Celly.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Sandra. I am excited to be here.
Oh, I am overjoyed to speak with you today and to be a proud member of Team Maximize You.
That's right. That's right. And we are honored to have you. We are blessed to have Sandra on our team. I tell you, we this has all melted well together, and so
Mhm.
glad you're here, and I'm so glad to be finally speaking with you.
I know we've had this interview eager to happen for a while.
Yep.
All right, well, let's dive in.
Let's dive
So,
in.
so the first question that I always love to ask my guests, because I find it so revelatory
Mhm.
in so many ways, with the ever-changing landscape of the identity of, well, I mean, we can start with how gender identity is becoming so fluid. And it's
Mhm.
really, people are really looking at identity in new ways. And that includes the identity of a business or the identity of a country, all of these, and even what is identity.
Identity.
This is why I love this question so much. Laura Celly, what identity do you lead with?
Ooh, that I lead with. Definitely, I lead with my female identity. Uh,
Mm,
I, it's something that I feel very powerful. It's a powerful tool, my female identity.
I
So
would agree with that. Yeah, yeah, that's wonderful.
some as a female, a woman, I guess I lead with that, and a mother, and
Mm,
just that identity, those identities, mother, female, sister, those are always the ones that I lead with.
yeah.
Definitely it has to do with the female, I don't like that it's, I guess, gender oriented, but that's my personality. I know others may have identify with something else, but definitely female for me because just my personality.
Well, and I think it's so powerful for leadership in the 21st century to really embrace your femaleness. And which is not to say that men can't embrace their
No, of
feminine qualities, but to
course not.
embrace that and really acknowledge the power of that is fantastic. The all of the skills that have become known to be desperately needed in leadership in the 21st century belong to the females.
That's right. And if we can um, grasp that acceptance, or I have, of my female traits, and use those, and because it's natural for me.
Yeah,
So when I lead as a female, it's very natural. I'm not fighting anything. It is who I
even
am.
more collaborative. Yeah, nurturing,
Exactly.
yeah,
Mhm.
bit larger, more interested in deeper listening, non-hierarchical, all of those skills that again we need in the 21st century. That's a beautiful answer. Thank you, madam.
So definitely.
What worlds do you walk between?
Very good. I like that
Mhm.
question. The worlds that I walk between is a woman's world and a man's world.
Perfect. One day they'll be one and the same.
Yes. You know, it's, I don't, I am I don't know if you know this, Sandra, but I'm a child of 13. I have 10 brothers and two sisters and eight older brothers. Okay. So I was surrounded by masculinity. And
Mm,
the world that I was raised in was all male, right?
mm,
Everything I saw was guys' clothes, guys' sports, guys. It was completely different. By the time I came along, there were so many men in my family. So I was raised in a really tough environment, and, with guys that were lifesavers, firemen, policemen, military, really tough people.
yeah.
And, but I'm a woman, and I
Mhm.
carry those traits, that personality, a female, nurturing. I really care about the situations and everyone's well-being, that just natural instincts that come along as being a woman. So being in business, there's always that struggle
Mm.
between those two worlds. Yes, you have to still be strong and aggressive like a man, what's categorized, right, as
Right, as
male, a
male
male.
and strong leadership,
Right.
which is debatable, but yes,
Correct. But
quote
I
unquote,
yeah,
right.
right, right, right. So there's always a struggle because I would, as a female, I love being a mother, I love being a sister, I love those roles. But when you're in business,
But yeah, and you
it's a
love business.
right, but it takes a whole different persona. You have to be aggressive. You have to be confident.
Mhm.
You cannot question yourself much. You have to be very confident in your decisions. And when you go to the women's world, you're more about keeping
A
everyone,
consensus.
the consensus, everyone happy. Let's keep
Everyone can
working.
weigh in with their opinion in
Yes,
a different way, potentially.
exactly,
Well, they
exactly.
work. I watch you and it works. I see you. You combine them beautifully.
Oh,
You know, you can be decisive and you can be the things that are quote unquote stereotypically maybe more male in leadership. But I don't know that those are particularly masculine, but I've also watched you navigate being very collaborative
mhm.
and allowing people a voice at the table. And that's powerful. And
And it's a balance. It's a balance, right? And being on the edge of both of those, I've worked, in the military.
oh,
I've
yes, that was a great seg into the military.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, tell
So
us about that.
it was something I changed my mind about. I started late in the middle, not late. I was early 20 years old when I joined.
Hmm.
Not the typical right out of high school. I tried to go to college. I didn't have much funding for college, so that was a
Oh, so
struggle
that was
for
right.
me.
Okay. Yeah.
And
It
so
wasn't like this deep calling to go in the military.
uh, not initially, no, no. And then I decided, well, I wasn't feeling where I was at in San Antonio at that time was benefiting me. So I said, I really need help with schooling money, and then deciding for sure what I wanted to do. I was still very young, right?
Right.
And so I didn't want to invest too much education in some degree that I was not maybe not going to like.
Yeah.
And so I decided to join, and I specialized in environmental health and medicine, medical, as a corpsman, what they call as hospital corpsman, and preventive medicine technician later, a specialty. We were like the public health of the Navy. So I did a lot of serving. I did, for the Navy and the Marine Corps in the medical service, at least, I think it was almost 7 years.
Wow. Wow, wow. And then I mean you used the brilliant word that has popped out. Everyone that I speak with that is a member of Team Maximize You talks about service,
Mm,
talks
yeah.
about and has, and you just said it brilliantly, has a service leadership mentality.
Yes. We've discovered, I mean, in my life, when you're serving others, the fold that comes back to you in positive energy is amazing. When you help someone else succeed, there is this energetic field that comes onto you that you feel like, wow, I've made a difference in someone else and helped them, mentored them, guided them, and they are doing awesome, and they've reached their goals, their personal goals, the goals that they've set, their professional goals. And when you can help someone better themselves, it is the most amazing opportunity that anyone can achieve
Yeah.
to me. That's why,
Amen.
I like this field. I like,
Mhm.
I'm a special education teacher also. And so when you help someone and you serve
Yeah.
someone, and you in the med in the military, I was making people feel better after being sick or preventing them from becoming sick. And
Mm.
when we made that change, it was a positive result.
Yeah.
And that's what we do at Maximize You, is we try to make a positive result in every situation. And when you do that, it's just everything falls into place, and success is not far away.
Yeah. And it's so rewarding for everyone involved.
Exactly.
Um, I want to jump to your education and how important that is because that's also how what brought you into education and then when well I'll move you into how that's a integral part of Maximize You. So how did
Okay.
you get into education?
Well, when I was in the military, in the medical field, okay,
Mm.
We had to study a lot. There was a lot of components of my specialty, all right? And one of the main areas, I guess, was communicable disease prevention, right? And
Interesting.
I had to learn this book that had like every disease that is known to man and how it can be prevented and how you can stop it. And guess what? The number one
One
thing,
disease.
oh no, not number one disease, the
Oh,
number one step that would prevent anything bad from happening is
what?
education. If
Fabulous, of
If you
course.
know, if you know how malaria is spread, if
Yeah,
you know how malaria is spread, then guess what? How can you stop malaria from spreading, right?
right.
So if you learn and you educate yourself, I got it. I got
Yeah.
it. That was
Mhm.
it. It was no, major medicine or major breakthrough in science. It was basic education.
Right,
So the one step that is necessary in every business and every company and every family and is educating yourself about anything, everything that you can. And so when I learned that in the Navy, that education is critical to prevent communicable diseases or to prevent foodborne illnesses or to prevent any bad things, you got to educate and train, right?
right.
And it's consistent. That has been the consistent drive for me in all of my jobs that I've carried on in
Yeah,
careers
your
is when you
professional tracks.
professional, right? So getting that
Always.
training and informing others and educating others makes it a much easier pathway. And that's how I get when you say I first learned about education or the importance of, and I've carried that with me with every position. So if
Mm.
I when I joined the a sales tech organization, I had to learn about negotiations and I had to learn about setting boundaries and making sure that I communicated right. So communication, I had to learn about communication. I had to learn about um, that was critical. So after the Navy, I went to Texas State University and I studied mass communication and journalism. And
Hmm.
I specialized in that because I knew that in order for you to make a change, you have to be able to communicate to everyone.
Yeah,
And that was my goal, and to learn about that or to be able to communicate with large groups.
right.
And I was already doing that in the military, training hundreds and hundreds of sailors and soldiers at a time. But I wanted to even do it in a larger way when in the civilian life per se. So
Yes.
I wanted to master it, and that's when I went to school to study that. And learning communication strategies was key. And I'm excited that now and then as I progressed in my career, I used all those skills that I learned there again in my training and in my education to bring me even here to maximize you.
Yeah, this it's incredible that how interesting to bring all of these communication skills combined with your service leadership to a platform that can literally reach millions of people.
So exciting.
It's so exciting. So tell me, so now education, I did want to touch on education as part of Maximize You, but before we get there, um, what was the spark for you and Sal to create this just go for it and
Right.
dive in and get this idea and put it out in the world.
It was a
I
big
love that
step.
story.
You love that story. It was a
I do.
very big step. So Sal and I, we were both in sales at one point, and then we decided when we both had Cyrus and Samira that the both of us in the sales industry was a little bit difficult, both traveling wise, attending different conferences, meetings. We both couldn't be out of the house at the same time when the kids were little. So when the kids started to go to school, I wanted to be a part of that um, process, I guess, their education process. So not only as a parent, I wanted to see, I could see a difference was needed, right? Or not needed, but that I could help. I always feel like I can help. And so I thought, to get on the kids' schedules and maybe better our life at home, I could transition over to education industry and work on the kids' schedules. So
Mm.
that's when I transitioned over and became a teacher. So in the middle of COVID, well, even yeah,
The magical liminal. What's
era.
happening? I don't know where I am. I'm going to come up with an idea.
Mhm. So after, I'd been in the education industry about 10 years, I said, I want to specialize, and I specialized in special education, where I
Mm.
would work with students with learning disabilities and behavioral as well, behavioral disabilities. So, and then I was doing very successful. I had great relationships with my parents, the students graduating and moving on to bigger and better things. And it was amazing. It was filling my bank. It was just amazing to be a part of their lives like that. Then COVID hits, and so Sal is busy with his consulting firm, his consulting that he's doing, his business and tech consulting. The schools are just, everyone is at home. Parents, students were trying to track them down. It was the most,
Mayhem.
yeah,
Mayhem.
mayhem. So we realized then the world needs help. We need help. Teachers need help. Business leaders, people in business needed that support. There was no one to really go to support anyone during this pandemic. And we were hanging on, and we were working through it, and we were keeping pace, and we said we can help. We can help.
Mm.
We can help. So that's when we created Maximize You. And we realized that with a little bit of support, a cheerleader on your side, a platform that you can go to for a positive information, training, anything informative, either about leadership, education strategies, just
Stress relief,
stress
wellness,
relief, wellness.
meditation. Yeah, all of the
We all
things.
it could There is a whole plethora of tools out there to help you or educate you to strategies to live a better, healthier life. And sometimes when there's a pandemic, or you're suffering from grief, or
Mm.
you've had a job loss,
Yeah.
or you've lost a relationship that you thought was going to go, that was the final one for you, is gone. Sometimes when we're in that mode, it's difficult to try and be that person that with maximize with all your potential because of something that has happened to you. Everyone is going to face something like that at some point in your life. And sometimes you got to be ready for it. And having those tools in a toolbox, I find, when you're a teacher, you have certain things you can do, a toolbox of strategies to work with difficult students. It's the same thing when you're a business professional and you're dealing with difficult clients and you're trying to do negotiations. I'm trying to get a student's behavior to be a little bit less disruptive. What can I do? You might be doing something like that with the client or with the team. You're trying to get focused and get to reach some goals. So all of those we figured out pretty much. It's education, it's informing others of techniques, strategies to use to make your
Yeah.
life better.
Well, what I love, I so love that you've woven education into this platform, and I rest assured it's because of you. Because, when I think of, when you think of Maximize You, you think of it for business leaders and
Hmm.
business people. But having gone to do the business summit in Bangalore,
Yes.
which was heaven,
Yes.
um, it really brought home to me how powerful this platform is across the boards for business leaders, for up and coming business leaders and clients and rising students as they decide where they want to put their talent and their passion as they explore that or grow it. And educators,
Hmm.
because all of the Maximize You is about changing lives
Yes.
and is about, so of course you would want to work with educators because they're all about changing lives. It's, yeah, it's fantastic. So how is it working with a life partner as a business partner?
Good, good question.
I'm
You
going to
know,
have each of you separately.
well, it is a little bit difficult. Sometimes we have to say no work right now. We are not talking about work. We're in our off time. And but sometimes it's there you go. It's about that man and female or just woman's world and a man's world when I communicate with my husband, right? Because I'm his wife, but he also has to remember I'm the CEO, right? So it is a little bit complicated because I play two
Interesting
roles.
edge to walk. I think about you often. I
So,
do.
oh,
It's a rarity
really?
that
Oh my
totally. Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
honestly, I mean,
Yeah,
I remember
I'm
my parents worked together,
ah,
and I remember being flabbergasted by it as a young person that I
right, right.
don't know anyone else's parents that do this.
I
And
know, I
and so,
know.
when I met you and came on board, I thought, oh, to have started a business together. Whew.
It's been a journey. We met at a tech firm early on in our relationship, and we were colleagues.
Yeah.
And when we were successful together at that business, when we worked together, we reached goals together. All right. Not I mean, we reached literally sales goals together.
Mm,
And so when you can work with someone like that in a partnership and you can grow and develop business wise, that's awesome.
yeah.
And then it just panned out. I mean, it just worked out romantically as well because I think we both knew that the two of us are gifted in certain areas, and when we would maximize, when we I helped him on one side, he helps me on the other side, we just shot up and were successful together. And I think any relationship, when you're looking for a relationship with someone, it has to have everything entwined in order for you to maximize and be the best relationship ever. So with my husband and I, or this co-founder, when we started working together at that tech company and closing deals together, we thought we're a good team. And what other way to do it than with our business? And we've done other ventures before. This isn't our first venture. We've done real estate before. We've managed properties. We had Amerasian, which was a small trade with India. We used to work with handicrafts and selling things here in the U.S. that I had found suppliers in India. So we've been busy on lots of projects prior to Maximize You. So
So
we
you have a
we
track record of working well together. Yeah.
exactly. So when with Maximize You, when he was doing his consulting separately, and then, I was in the education field, I just felt like it's time, because I could see what was necessary in the private sector or in the business side, that the education side was not preparing those future leaders or future business. leaders in the
Mhm.
schools. I could see it. I could see that because I've worked on both sides. So when I started working with a school that does that project-based learning, PBL, it's a different methodology than your typical classroom um, pedagogy. It's not just a book and an individual, it's group. It's a group working on a project together, and everyone has their specialty.
Very
And
female.
right, exactly.
Uh-huh. Very female. Yes. Very
So
collaborative.
very collaborative, but it works. We
Uh-huh.
see test scores on students that transition to a project-based learning environment versus a textbook old school method of learning, individual testing only. Their individual test scores went up, even though they were working in groups,
Yeah.
because you have that support from your team, and students always want to be like the other students. And so if you can be that influencer for that other conscientious person to give them a little bit or help them understand your personality a little bit, so then the both of you can work together on a project and be more successful and get that A, then when they go on to their adult life and they're working with marketing and they're working with code, the programming department, or they're working with finance department, and they're working with, there's a collaboration that has to be
Yeah.
met. And how else, if you don't work in a group from the get-go, it's going to be hard.
Yeah,
uh
the teamwork is essential. The teamwork,
Teamwork.
everyone works together, and Maximize You is all about, teamwork. We move faster together.
It's the truth. When you
Yes.
have the right team, and from my experience and from what I've seen, when you have the right team, it's easy for you to be successful. And I remember one of my old bosses in the Navy, my old chief, my last chief, I say my last chief, my last assignment, he created his dream team. He said we were his dream team because he said if at that time it was peacetime, okay, when I was in, but he would tell me because he had been to Desert Storm, and he had told me, "Gosh, you are part of my dream team here. If I had you in a field somewhere and it was just you and I in the dirt and this group here, we would be just fine." Because
Mhm.
we can work, we know each other, we work well together, and we can do anything. And when you have that team set and that team mindset, the top is you're there.
Yeah. Yes, yes, and yes. And just that willingness to jump right in and find a solution and turn on a dime. I tell you what, I really saw that. I don't know if I ever told you this, but when we were in Bangalore, when we were running around doing business and flying here and doing this and turning on a dime and change, I thought, this is fantastic. I can these people turn on a dime and dive in, and I can do it just as fast as them. This is a great match. I loved it. I got a vision of it, just the way that we traveled all together
Mhm.
and met the moments as
Yeah.
they arrived.
It's welcome to Celly land.
Right? Exactly. But I like Cellyland.
Yes,
Uh,
Celly land. It is what we call, that's what I, for a long time, when I would meet people and, introduce our family, it's Celly land, because that's how we roll. We
yeah,
see an opportunity, and that's the founder, my co-founder, Sal Celly. He's definitely the visionary in the vision that he can see and find that opportunity.
yeah,
And when you can spot the opportunity, then you can succeed, and I mean work at it and succeed. Set your goal based on that opportunity, and it's a win. It will be a win. So when we were very flexible in Bangalore, India in general, you have to be flexible. You have to be flexible when you travel there or you do business in India. You have to have flexibility,
yeah.
but it's a good thing. I love India. We've worked
Mm.
India, well, partnerships before. So in other international partnerships, we worked in Dubai. We also went there. There's education is everywhere, right? That's the one thing why Maximize You, we have that component in there is because we're a global company. We're global. And education is, guess what? Global.
Global.
And now today, in order for you to survive, you need to be prepared for a global marketplace, a global career option, a global career path. So definitely Maximize You incorporating education in our vision, in our goals, in our platform was important and critical, I think, to the success of Maximize You. It starts from early on, education.
Beautiful. Couldn't agree more. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much for this incredible conversation. Is there anything else before we say goodbye to our glorious listeners that we need to know about Maximize You and your role within it?
Well, if there's one thing I can recommend or share with everyone, if you're in that situation where you're uncertain about your future, or maybe you're struggling in your position, your current position at work, maybe you're in sales, maybe you're not in sales. One thing that helped me during my different transitions from, civilian life to private life, to a entrepreneur, and then to the education industry. One tool that I found very useful is it's that very simple disc assessment. And when people can do that, I mean, when someone does that and they find out their behavior style or their behavior type, and then they open their eyes to the other types of behaviors as well, then it's a very, very easy first step strategy in order to maximize your potential. See where the opportunities are for improvement. So with Maximize You, that's a real simple step. We have it both for kids and for the regular disc assessment. We have a kids disc version too, which is a lot of fun. And then we have just the regular disc as well. But
That's
when a one of our when someone comes to visit our website and they take the disc assessment, it's with me that they would get a we would talk about their we would talk about the report with them. I would. So I'm excited. That's one of my favorite things to do, and I invite anyone to just jump on. And if you're at a point in your life right now where you're maybe retiring from one career, making a career change, maybe you've lost a job that you're not feeling that you were in the right position, the disc is a great tool. You can take it on our website and then have a coaching session with me. So they can find that information there. But that, I think, is that first critical step, that if you want to start working and educating yourself to maximize your potential, doing that disc assessment, completing that, figuring out your personality behavior types. And there's also tons of
and your
other,
learning type.
right.
Hmm. Yeah. And
So
then plug into the platform and have AI go and pull out based
oh,
on your learned personality and learning style the appropriate actionable steps, the appropriate coach work, the appropriate workshops, etc., to take
what
on the
has worked,
platform.
why reinvent the wheel, right? If it's worked for someone else, why wouldn't it work for you? Try something, a strategy. If it doesn't work, you can try something else.
Yeah.
It's all about educating yourself, putting those tools in your toolbox that you can use when that time is tough for you or it's not tough. Everything, when you have the right tools, you can fix anything, right?
This is true. This is true. Amen. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you again, Laura Celly,
No, thank you.
CEO and co-founder of MaximizeU.life. This has been a great conversation. It's great to spend time with you and to hear your perspective on the company as it rockets up. Yes. And forever congratulations on all the recent awards, etc. And again, my great joy in being a team member of Maximize You.
Thank you very much, Sandra, for having me. And we are so honored to have you as our on our side, in our boats. Thank you.
Thank you. To all of our listeners, thanks for spending time. I'm going to do a little plug. Don't go away quite yet. We'll be continuing with our series highlighting the fantastic members of Team Maximize You. And up next will be our co-founder and advisor, Sal Celly. So make sure to subscribe to our Maximize You YouTube channel and check out the Edge of Everyday podcast, streaming on your favorite podcast platforms and right here at maximizeyou.life. And be sure to check out our latest training packages, the Get Better yearly subscription. For just $149 a year, that's less than a cup of coffee per week, you can get trainings delivered every week right to your inbox. There's a package for leadership and team management, sales and negotiations, leading a balanced life, AI understanding, and mine, impactful communication and presence. Check them out on our website, maximizeyou.life. Join us on this transformative journey and discover the power of maximizing your potential with maximizeyou.life. Thanks for listening, everyone. Until we speak again, take good care.